And only one word that we can describe it. Damn.
Damn! Damn! Come on, man. Damn!
What we're going to do is we're going to show you the exact order, and then I'm going to walk you guys through it as to how they actually came to the conclusion, because the question is if Durk is found guilty, can he use this on his appeal? I got the answers. Don't worry for you. Let's go. You all can see right here, it's just a page 101 right here. And you can see Michael Seabright, United States District Judge, all this crap and all this stuff, proceedings and chambers order. I'm going to make this bigger for you all because I can't see a damn thing. So, proceeding in chambers order on October 6, 2025, defendant Durk Banks filed a motion to dismiss and disqualify based on unlawful designation of Bill. That's what he wanted to go by. But we ain't doing that. Y'all know we ain't doing that. Bilal A. Esley as United States Attorney motion to disqualify. CECF number 228. Meanwhile, on October 28, 2025, the court denied similar motions to disqualify in the United States versus Ramirez case, United States versus Garcia, and United States versus Rojas. C, United States versus Ramirez, reconsideration denied December 12th, 2025. Yeah, that's where, everything was essentially screwed over. So since that happened on December 12th, still had to wait a little bit because you still had to go through and see everybody else that had to be sweeping. And god dang it, it was. On November 3rd, 2025, the court gave defendant Banks an opportunity to file an optional statement indicating why the court should not deny the motion to disqualify for the same reasons given in Ramirez. Defendant Banks did not file such statement, see ECF number 300. And on December 12, 2025, the court denied a motion for reconsideration in Ramirez. Now that the court has denied a motion for reconsideration in Ramirez, the court denies defendant Banks' motion to disqualify ECF number 228. That is, given Ramirez, there is no reason to dismiss Banks' indictment, and Mr. Esley may continue to supervise Banks' prosecution in his role as special attorney and the first assistant United States attorney for the Central District. So is ordered. So you're going to see his name pop up on that one. As far as FAUSA, yeah, that's how they put it in the damn things. But we got some shit to say. Bam! Y'all want to make some free money? Hit free cash. Yep, hit that QR code right there. Hit free cash. Play hundreds of games. Get on that platform. Win some money. How? Just play these dang games. Once y'all play the games, win your money. They're not selling you content. They're not selling you info. They're not selling you any doggone thing. Just click right there or tap the link in the description. And buddy, let me tell you, you're going to get your money on. It's holiday season, ain't it? So, man, I know a lot of y'all just scrolling, playing your games. Why not get paid to do the same thing? Hundreds of games to choose from. Click right here to see if your favorite is in there. Other than that, let's get back to the content. Make sure you stay to the very end. I got a crazy announcement for you guys. So, yeah, but the answer, unfortunately, was in our face the whole entire time, and especially about the appeal part, because unfortunately, Durk is not going to be able to use this as an appeal, and he damn well would have beat this without even stepping foot in court because of this one thing that happened. Take a look. So I want to go ahead and give right here. It's for the reasons stated, however, the court does not dismiss defendants' indictments as they were lawfully signed by other attorneys for the government, and there has been no showing of due process violations or other irregularities in defendants' prosecutions resulting from Esley's unlawful service as acting United States attorney. Moreover, Esley remains the FAUSA and may perform the functions and duties of that office. So ordered October 28, 2025. But we want to go back real quick because shout out to Durk all day, right? And he says, in those cases, judge came to the conclusion that Esley was indeed unlawfully assuming the role of acting United States attorney and disqualified him from serving in that role. However, the court found that his appointment as FAUSA was lawful and permitted in the cases to go forward. Then it says right here where the defendants filed a motion for reconsider, arguing, among other things, that the appointment clause was violated, and for him to act as FAUSA, he would still have to have been confirmed by the Senate, which is actually true. You need a Senate confirmation. Also, FAUSA is not a statutory office and has no function duties. And that's the part where it's like, shit. So it says the courts order concluded that Mr. Esley remains the FAUSA and may perform the functions and duties of that office, but first assistant is not a statutory office at all, and it carries no functions and duties. And that's kind of where it's like, well, you don't really have shit, but the shit that you doing really ain't shit anyways. As a defense supplemental brief explained, the Attorney General's designation of Mr. Esley as first assistant was not a separate appointment to another job, like an appointment as an assistant U.S. attorney under 542 Def Sup 4. Rather, first assistant is a label that the attorney general signs under a department regulation implementing the FVRA. The label is merely a means of order and succession, and it does not confer additional powers except as triggered under the FVRA. Mr. Esley cannot perform the functions and duties of that office because it has no functions and duties. So how the hell y'all gonna appoint him to an office that is only there for namesakes, but it don't have any powers? That's the shit. Anyways, because it has no functions and duties. At the very least, even assuming Mr. Esley occupies an office called first assistant, Congress has never passed a statute exempting that office from the confirmation requirement. If he has to continue to wield all the inferior office powers of a U.S. attorney in his capacity as first assistant, he must therefore be confirmed. And he has never been confirmed. And that's the part where I'm probably going to screw over these cats, but it is what it is. So as mentioned a few days ago, the judge is now ruling on Durk's motion until he deals with the reconsideration. So in chambers ordered by Judge J. Michael Seabright as to defendant Durk Banks, the court notes that defendant Durk Banks has not filed an optional statement due on November 14, 2025 regarding the court's inclination as to his motion to dismiss and disqualify based on unlawful designation of Bilal A. Esley as United States Attorney. Motion to disqualify, ECF number 228. See ECF number 284, minutes providing court's inclination and allowing defendant Banks to file a statement by November 14, 2025. Nevertheless, the court will continue to stay consideration of defendant Banks' motion to disqualify pending a ruling by the court on a motion for reconsideration filed in United States versus Ramirez, case number 525 CR 264 SS United States. Y'all don't really care about that shit. So there's that. So what it boils down to is this. The government looks at the other prosecutors, the other DAs, as they were moving as one person, one sole entity versus Bilal Esley, who had a team of other individuals who were just as qualified. I would argue that Lil Durk's lawyers should have looked into that in its entirety and then literally say, well, this person, this person, this person, this person, because I doubt highly that only one person was going to do all the deep diving and all this crap and everything. So basically, like, they're taking orders from this person is kind of how the other judges looked at it, opposed to Bilal Esley, who was working as a unit with other individuals. But I find it funny that his ass took that title off of his name since the shit happened, which means to me some type of culpability, some type of knowledge, and it 100% should have been dismissed based on that alone. But it wasn't murder for hire. It wasn't a dead body. It would have been difficult for them to have the balls to actually pull this off, because technically this should be dismissed, whether you like it or you don't. But what does that mean going forward? Will this be in his appeal? I don't think so. Based off their lack of, meaning the lack of due diligence by the lawyers to deep dive, to go ahead and pay attention to this, I dare say we probably paid attention to it way more than the freaking lawyers. Now, I've never talked to any of the lawyers. This is purely speculation. So please don't take my speculations as me saying, yo, I talked to Drew and I asked Drew, like, nigga, why ain't you? Nah, not said any of that crap at all. But it was worth a shot. In this day and age, I think what happens is this. We forget a lot of cases can be dismissed on technicalities. Only some actually are. So with the influence and all this stuff, we'll see. But I also think too, it was doing a little teeter-tottering. And I think and this is just my thoughts, and I think you all would agree, is that the consensus to me would be, shit, Drew, you might have to reach out to Trump if this shit hits the fan. Because they all have relationships with Donald J. Trump. So it's only so much that you can do. It's only so much you can crap on. There's only so much that you can say to where you got to look at a potential benefactor in this and then go, yeah, shit. Yeah, you know, I try to piggyback a wave that say the shit you doing to get rid of your enemies is super illegal, and you know you did that, so I had to mess around and take the same wave as your ops. Still friends? You know what I mean? Like, it's man, we just see Trump do some vindictive ass shit. Cuz don't when Trump don't like you, cuz gonna dish you in death. This is why I always say I don't believe Trump is sexist, Trump is racist, Trump is anything. I think Trump is a self-deranged, self-entitled, self-divulgent individual. I think he only thinks of him and him only. I think if he could use people, no matter what their message is, to further his agenda, to further his name, I think he would do it. And I think history has proven that every single time. Other people look at it and go, oh, he's misogynistic, oh, he's racist. I'm going, no, that dude is for self. He don't give a shit about nothing but himself. That man done lied about every damn thing. And once these people who voted for him figure it out, they ain't gonna admit this shit either. You've been bamboozled. But back to the matter at hand. So what does that mean? That means we go forward. Was it January 6th or January 4th? We still continue on. And it's crazy because this January, Brett, this January is going to be insane. We have YNW Melly's trial, potentially Mo 3's trial, Lil Durk's trial, and there's one more that I'm forgetting. Takeoff's trial. Potentially Takeoff's trial. 4 major freaking trials that we had to pay attention to. So, saddle up, get ready. I think Lil Durk's going to beat the charges. But as far as this Cody's, shit. They got a hell of a fight on their hands. The way that it's shaping out, the way that it's looking, the prosecutors, the DAs, all of these well, they're the same thing, but what they're doing is they're getting ready to rent some hotels, get some cops ready, some nice overtime pay, and prepared to sit, study a lot of shit, a lot of slang, and try to take it to hell, for lack of better words. Durk's fight is actually realistically against cops and gang unit who are going to decipher what the hell all of this shit is supposed to mean. But as we've seen in the YSL trial, these cops don't know shit. They don't know a damn thing. You had Detective Dennis say, I learned all my stuff through, I got them droopy eyes. Never mind. I learned all my stuff through watching gang movies in LA like Boys in the Hood. Really? Really? Tell me what this gang sign is. 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 The thumbs up mean that's a green light for the hit. Thumbs down mean because, he gave him a thumbs up in the video when he killed the Chinese store owner. What did that mean? God damn. Shout out Dennis, man. He's actually doing tremendous work out there in St. Louis. I don't want to crap on him, but I for surely will take a dig at him. But yeah, man. You win some, you lose some. This was a shot, I hope you guys understood this was a complete Hail Mary to see if it could work. And I think due to relationships, it actually did it. Because one could say this shit should have been dismissed. Because there's no way that Trump's attorneys only did this by themselves. That's what they're trying to say. I don't believe that. Win one of these anyways. We're 29K away from the giveaway, so make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe today. And always comment on every single video. Somebody just commented something so stupid and they're qualified. They were like, how do I qualify? Or when's the date you're giving those away? I down there blocked them, bruh. 300,000 subs. But Hanukkah ends on the 22nd. That's on a Monday. So we're going to select 5 people. If you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on Facebook, we're going to select 5 individuals and give them $100. Just so you can, just so you can start your damn Monday off, right? And yeah. How can I win though? This is how I know you guys paying attention. Put a menorah in your comment. Just do that. So that's all I need you guys to do. 5 people, $100 each. I'm gonna give away $500. Whether you're doing this on YouTube or whether you're doing this on Facebook. I'm not gonna make this announcement again. So yeah. And if you win, if you're one of those selected few, I will contact you through the comments because I can go back and look. I can literally go back and look. And yeah, we're gonna have that. So hey.